All right, so looks like I'm streaming. Let me share my screen. Oh, I see now. I see where it actually displays if there's viewers. Confirming 0 viewers. Oh, also share system audio. Well, I'm not currently doing any audio code, so when I do that, I'll incorporate that as well. All right, so I'm gonna do live 5. I've been waiting for this one for a while, hitting that rhyme. All right. So, first I'm gonna add I really should just package this because it's so annoying adding it every single time. I'm just gonna do this. Complex parts. Background. Not really gonna do the background. It's just a really small one. And so by doing this, then here I can do script, start script, and then what I can do is call this let's see. Oh yeah, upload. Brain wasn't working there. So this will say run program. Or maybe begin program. Maybe I'll just put start. Yeah, I'll just call it start script. This will first, this is the first fragment, or I guess it's basically fragment that executes, that causes the program to run. Maybe I'll call this run. Okay. That makes things a little bit easier because then I can work in the complex parts space instead of, having to always start in the base level. Okay, so we're running, got the background. Let's see. There was a new one that I made, the projectile launcher. See here in a moment. This name here is not right. It should say projectile launcher and shouldn't have this parameter name here. But so I have my little mage here that shoots stars, and right now these stars are just sticking around forever, and it's kind of annoying. And I don't want that. So when I spawn them, so I have basically this timer that happens. It spawns the bullets, and these are the bullets, the stars. It's going to make them. Now, when it makes them, it should also delete them at the after a period of time. So maybe if this is going to be, so I want to delete them and also remove them from the collision list. So either I can do that manually, or I can have some kind of, recurring engine that when I feed a variable, it does like all kinds of different cleanup. If I have to remove from the collision list and delete the variable, then it might be better. Maybe there's other cleanup things that need to be done as well as things get more complicated. So I think I'll just register it into a list. So let's say that whenever the collision engine runs, it's also going to first check and see if we're going to remove anything that was on this list. So we also need a collision engine. This is probably going to wind up becoming just a generalized engine in the end that just does all these different things. Okay, so it's just going to go through, it's going to create these variables, and then, so before it creates those variables, we're going to want to do some trash deletion. So we're going to make a loop. It's going to be pretty far down here. This needs to go up. Just verify audio is still working. Okay, so we're going to call this trash collection trash cleanup loop. And there is not yet a variable for this, but basically what we're going to do is just when we spawn a star, we're going to a period of time away. So we're going to basically have, here's our delay, delayed. Search is not that amazing. Timer, not a recurring timer. Action. Okay, we're going to do delayed action. So basically execute an action after X milliseconds. Okay, and so we're going to create a star, and it's going to fly across the screen, and it's going to make this translation, this 20 VW, and it's going to take 1,000 milliseconds to do it. And so 1,000 milliseconds later, we're going to say we're done with this thing. And so this is going to be register or trash it. Yep. So it's we're gonna trash it. And we have our action here, and we're going to just modify a variable. And this is going to be called trash list. So basically, the trash list is just everything that we want to throw away. And what we're going to append to it is the ID of this particular element. So we're going to make an element. Here's what its ID is going to be. And we're going to put it into the trash list right here. It'll go there 1,000 milliseconds later. Now, so that's just going to append that. Now let me just check this really quick and see what's going on here. Array name here, modification, variable list. Okay. All right. Now this right here. Let me see here. This array. Just trying to make sure that the correct one is being assigned here. This is probably okay in this scenario, although I think I do need to update this. It's probably not going to crash it yet. Yeah. Okay, so if it doesn't crash it there, then it's fine for now. But basically, I do need to update that fragment to make it correct. So now here we have the trash list. Let's just get a copy of this value here, because then inside the collision engine, what's going to happen is going to check and see if there's before actually all that. Here we have the trash cleanup. This is going to be the length of we need to get the length of this array, the trash list array. Okay, so get the length, get variable data, and it's going to be trash list. Let's see what's happening here. Let's see if this works. Okay, that's good. And then the action is going to be, first, it's going to delete the elements. Then after that, it's going to remove any entries that existed in the collision lists. So that way we're not constantly checking for things that don't even exist. So then we're going to delete this element. And this element is basically going to be, so we have the array. We're going to reference an array. I have a sneeze that is just not happening. And then the array is going to be trash list. And then this is going to be this particular loop counter. So we're iterating over this list, and this is the index. And so we're just going to do that one. Okay. So if this works, then the star should disappear. That was sad. Okay, so cannot read properties of undefined. Pre-collision list A. Okay, so it's saying that the element doesn't exist. So maybe the first time it actually did delete it. Let me see. No, looks like that first one was still there. Okay, so we're gonna delete these items here. Collision list A. Oh, I see. Basically, because pre-collision list, doesn't exist yet in this one. I'm thinking that's the case. Or B doesn't exist. Okay, pre-collision list, what was this B? All right, so I'm just going to satisfy the requirement of having both pre-collision lists there. That's something I need to basically make as a default, so you don't have to do that. So this is going to be A. All right, now that error shouldn't exist anymore. Okay, it collide with itself. Oh, that's right. The trash list, or the collision detection, has its own rate. So basically it's going to get registered. And then what's happening afterwards? Oh, and then the trash list needs to pop. So, yes. So basically, inside the trash list, here we're going to go across. We're going to delete the elements, and then we're going to do. We're going to modify the variable here, and it's going to load up with like this append thing. But instead of append, we're actually going to remove. Okay, hopefully this works. So here I need to just give the ID. So that's going to be, this is the element, this is the ID here. So we're going to just pop that or push that into here, duplicate it. And then this was from trash list. So I feel like I actually need to make these two separate loops just because I don't want to be modifying a loop and changing the index and then it's doing something completely different because I'm not like referencing the variables correctly. So I'm going to make these as two separate loops, one for deletion, one for cleaning up the list. Okay, and then this just needs to go up here. Okay, so now we can remove this one. And then on this one, we can remove this one. Okay, so first thing that we have here is the for loop for deleting the elements. Then we have the for loop for modifying the array. Hopefully, so I still collide with myself, which is fine. Variable list. Cannot read properties of undefined. So it's looking at the length of trash list. Is that because the first time it happens beforehand? How fast is this? Okay, so let's say that this is 1500. Is it an initialization problem? Nope. Oh, I know what I should do. I should check some things here. Um, so let's look at some variables or some, okay, so, okay, that's going to be a huge problem. These don't have unique identities, which may or may not be the, so here's the bullet loop. Num elements 2. Okay, so that's basically, yeah, for my number of bullets. Yes, so this is basically for each one of them, it's going to make a, yeah, and it'll be located at its location. It will launch those, and but still, they each have, they need their own bullet count or something like that. What does the trash list look like? Variable list. Trash list is saying my string 2. My string 2, none of these. They're all my string 1. Why is that? Why? Here's the ID, here's the bullet loop. The delayed action. This is in the same level, the delayed action and the element. So we're going to modify the variable. Okay, my string bullet loop. Is that what these are each? My string bullet loop. This is my trash list. Interesting. Trash it. Loop ID. These are all referencing this bullet loop here. But these are all showing at 2. It's very interesting. Well, this explains the problem, but why is it looking different between these two? So let's see if we have another bullet loop maybe. Yeah, this is the bullet loop, and then here's the actions. We're gonna make that element. Oh, okay. I see. This delayed action is going to reference the bullet loop later in time. It's going to modify the trash list. So what needs to happen is I need to modify the variable immediately, but have some way of informing the trash list that it's not yet time for it to be active. So I could add a timer to the trash list and say, if, if it's expired, then throw it away. So I can just put expiration dates on things. It's not a terrible idea. It's just trying to think of the simplest way to avoid making it complicated. I guess I could just have a list where I'm going to have to figure out the index of that value. Okay. Well, what I could do is append it to like a pre-trash list immediately, and then have some way in which I push it into the real trash list after a period of time. If I just don't want to create something that has an insanely large length on it. I don't want to make a super huge array or anything like that. For now, what I'm going to do, just to verify that the functionality is working, I'm going to just put it outside of the delayed action. So I'm going to put it right there. And then it's going to immediately put it on the trash list. But the collision timer is... Oh, headphones just decided... Okay, that's working. Headphones just decided to die. Okay, so now... Alright. I'm just going to here... I'm just going to put this as... Oh, it's not going to find anything there. Let's see if that was truly necessary. Or if that error actually is preventing anything. Yep, it looks like it is. Okay. So basically, need to have this collision list B here. Maybe I'll just add some rocks just so I have the complete... Yeah, I'm just going to do that. So I'm just going to take this, remove that, and just going to add some rocks so I have two different collisions. Hopefully this will be A automatically. I have to check. Okay, sweet. Now, got my rocks. Oh, this is going to be afterwards. Okay, so we're going to spawn them. There they are. This needs to be on A. Okay, it is on A. Alright, so that's working. Now something just weird is going on with my... Alright. Variable list. Okay, so my trash list has nothing on it right now. So, strong possibility that if this is going fast, okay, so this needs to be 1500. If this is really long, then okay, yes, it is in fact deleting things. Yes. Amazing. Okay. So now I just need to find a way to delay so that way like I can control how long it takes until they get deleted. So let's see. Let's go to the area where I have the item. So the item in question. So here I have the trash list. It's being added to the trash list. It's being added immediately. So that's causing it to get deleted immediately. I can't put it in a delay because the variable that I'm referencing is going to be different later on. So that doesn't work. Let's see. Yeah, so expiration was the other thought. So I could make this I could make it a dictionary, but I don't think I have a delete items from dictionary fragment made yet, which is obviously one that really does need to be made. Let me see here. Do I have remove scroll bars as a complex? No, I don't need to add that. Okay, move this down here. Sorry, scroll bars are just killing me. Move scroll bars. Nope, didn't click it. All right. Yeah. So and yeah, you can't touch the rocks or you die. So that's good. No more scroll bars. Feeling good there. Now to do this trash cleanup here, yeah, I can just so here we have the trash list, and then we'll have trash list expiration. Expiration, is that what I said? Exploration? Should be expiration. We'll call this trash list XP. Trash list XP. EXP. All right. It's kind of annoying because I don't want to have to. I guess though, you can kind of just set it. You can use it as a variable at some point. So let's see what I have here for. Is this accurate? This should be trash list. Oh. Trash list EXP. Let's see what happens here. All right, there we go. So we got trash list exp, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add to it. Let's see what I have here. If there's anything, get the current date. I could say I could use like a ticks type thing. So let's see. See if there's anything else here. All right, let's see what the time or the date value is. Get the current date. There's something here? Let's see what this does. Date. What does that do? Okay. Yeah, but when you, the date time string format returns a new date object, recalls the function, returns a string representation of the current date and time. Let's see what, okay. What is, okay. All right. Yeah, so it returns not really sure what I would add to that. I have to check and see how I would modify that. So the other thing to do would be to basically just slow down the deletion timer just for simplicity's sake instead of over engineering this, this, I almost said a curse word, over engineering this to death. I can just make it so that this trash cleanup here, it will, first we're going to have an if statement. If else. And we could just make it probabilistic. Screw it. Who cares? Why bother making things a certain way? All right, so so ideally, throwing things off the screen and then cleaning them up later on would, take care of the majority of these things here. So let's just take this. Let's put it on action if true. And then we're going to take this. We'll put it on action if true as well. Boop. And I can later on replace this probabilistic thing with an actual date comparison. So that way it runs like at a specific rate or something like that, but it's supposed to be trash cleanup. So just as long as like the trash gets taken out every once in a while, you're pretty good. So there we got a random number. All right. And let's say it's between 1 and 5. And so if you get a value equal to 2, this means that just every 5 times the collision runs, probabilistically, you're going to do trash cleanup. So occasionally you get something that looks a little weird, but the less frequently that you do the trash cleanup, the less frequently you'd have anything weird happening. But so action if true, we're going to do these 2 for loops. Action if false, let's do nothing. Now, let's just see what happens here. Math. Oh, this is the problem. Double fragments there. Okay, so, all right, that was interesting. Oh, okay. All right, so I'm gonna make this like 1 in 20. Or, even still, I could just do the first one and then pop to the next one. That is a thought. I think this should be fine. Because really it's just trash cleanup. Let's not get too crazy. So now that this is happening and it's removing the element, now it just needs to also try and remove it from the collision list, because if we look at the pre-collision, let's go to the variable list here. All right. So in this case, it's not in the collision list, but wow, it doesn't even need the IDs to be correct, so long as there's enough of them that it deletes. That's very interesting. So in the collision list right now, we have that. Now let's just see if we try and remove it, if that would cause any problems. If it's not there, maybe we should first add it there. So this is basically going to check for different items in the collision. Pre-collision list B. So we're going to do the trash cleanup, and then at the same time, let's remove it from the collision list. So here's going to be our action. we're going to actually do the same thing here. So we're going to, instead of it being the trash list, it's going to be the pre-collision list A. And hopefully I can just blindly remove them from both, because I don't want to have to keep track of which list is in there. Like, I just want to try and do it, and if it doesn't work, then okay, that's fine. So we're going to take pre-collision list A, and we're going to remove the item for the, so actually first we need to do this before we modify the trash list. And in fact, let's just put it up here with the element deletion. Before we do any modification on the trash list at all, let's not, affect anything. So let's remove that. So that's going to basically say, here we have the trash list cleanup loop. Yep, those are the same. Then we want the item from the trash list, that particular item in the array, and we're going to modify this array, and then we also want to modify pre-collision list B. And then let's just see if the code, continues running. If it does, then I'll add it to the I'll actually add it to the collision list, so that way I can do a verification that this works. But usually the first telltale is if, yeah. So it's still, oh, this is good. This is good. So it is at least deleting the items. Let's verify that the, okay, so it can try and pop a list even if it's not there. Headphones trolling me again. It was like, why are you talking? There's nobody listening. So here, let's just check this variable list. Okay, so my pre-collision list A and B are completely empty. And the trash list is not empty. Okay, so the trash list has all these items in them, all these MyString ones. And let's see, are they still being deleted periodically? Okay, they are still being deleted. So that means that this part still works. Then we do that, then it's going to look at the pre-collision list A, pre-collision list B. Now, for some reason, having these in here is, it looks like my pre-collision lists are being heavily impacted. Let me just see. All right. So I'm basically removing a portion of the variable, a portion of the list, depending upon the index of that variable. And if it does not show up, then it's going to be -1, which makes me think that it is going to maybe just completely obliterate this collision list here. So I think for remove here, what needs to happen is I need to have like some kind of modification to this variable. So that way, if this returns like a -1, which I think it does return a -1, it's going to not run this because it's just the entire pre-collision list has been destroyed. So without this modification to the variable, so actually it's just going to remove the one that was affecting pre-collision list B, and then just refresh on the right. You know, one of the most important things I could do right now is press the save button. Okay, then go back down here. All right, so that's still working. Now we look at the variable lists. All right, so pre-collision list A has all these in there. Trash list has a bunch of my string ones. Okay, so let's go up here. We delete the element, and then here is the pre-collision list A. Let's just check the variable list again. Pre-collision list A has been annihilated. So this remove function is basically, if it doesn't exist in there, it's just completely destroying the whole thing. So what needs to happen is basically I need to modify the remove function. And so I'm gonna go into the old editor here. Here we go. All right, so if this is index of, so bison, giraffe. Okay, so it's -1. So if this comes back as -1, then I want to do nothing. I don't want to modify this at all. And if it comes back as a value, then I want to actually remove it from the list. So I think what I can do is um, um, if this is greater than -1, then we're going to return this. Hang on a moment. Okay, so this here, if array name, variable list. All right, so if I just make it where it would just close this bracket. Yep. Let me think on that one some more before I modify it. All right. So I'm not going to remove it from the collision list yet. I at least have the element deletion. I'm not exactly sure if, okay, so let me make it so that the stars collide with the rocks. So first, the stars need to have a unique ID. So whenever we're spawning the stars, first what we need is we need another variable here, and this is going to be our star count. This way, just every star has its own little unique number associated with it. All right, so then here, let me just go back really quick. Okay, it's just capital S. So here we have our star. So we're going to do this action when we go to make them. First, we're going to modify a variable. Let's put variable in here. Variable. Modify a variable. Actually, wait. I'm just going to set the variable. That's the easiest way to do it. Oh, I already had. So let's just go here. We're going to do variable. Variable. So we're going to make a variable. And it's going to be star count. Let's just put it up at the top here. All right. So we're going to make a variable. It's going to be a variable. Just checking, verifying. No one was on. Star count. All right, and then this is going to be reference star count. And we're going to add 1 to it. Plus 1. And this means that up here, when I specified star count, I need to make sure that was in fact a value. Okay, good. So that way, because if it's strings, it's going to add them as strings together. That's just like a thing of how JavaScript works. So this is going to be called star. And then we're going to add another thing onto here. It's going to be reference variable. It's going to be the star count. Then every star should have a unique ID. And then star count. Once we're doing that, then we can make the stars collide with the rocks. Everything's going to be awesome after that. We got our rocks. Where are my stars? Star, yes. Okay, they're all unique. Awesome. And even if we had 2 of these, I'm very interested to see what's going to happen here. I mean, some of the references won't work, but I could try this. Maybe some of this will work. I don't know. Okay. Oh my God. Yes. It's so good. Let's just put it back to 1. Anyway, the stars now. I don't want my guy can still react with the rocks, but I think what I want is Yeah, the stars. Yeah, the stars are gonna hit the rocks. The mage, I'm just gonna remove his. I'll just leave it in there. The mage will still have it as well. So here we have pre-collision list. This is using the X. So we're just gonna duplicate this over here. When we make our bullets, we're also going to take their ID and we're going to add them to the pre-collision list. So right here is where it went, and we're going to append that. Then we just need to, in the collision, I want to rotate things because right now things on team A are flying off screen, but I want those rocks to do something instead. So here we're going to go through, build our collision lists from the pre-collision lists, go through, detect, and then this one here, it says collision list B. This we're going to change to A, I think. I guess the rocks must be on A. Oh, okay, my projectiles now work. These are amazing. Now are they supposed to, when are they going to disappear? They're supposed to be disappearing. Trash cleanup. Trash list. Let's check the trash list here. Oh, I know the problem is their name in the trash list is incorrect. So modify the variable. Here we're putting them on the pre-collision list, but their name on the trash list is incorrect. So it should be instead, this should be their name. And here's the trash list. We're going to append it. All right. Now my stars should go away. Eventually. What is it? What is the 1 in 20? Okay, that's probably a lot. Let's just make it 1 in 2 so I can verify that it's working. Okay, so I'm getting some kind of statistic. Okay, yes, it works. I was just getting some kind of statistical abnormality that was making it extremely unlikely to occur because that kind of shit has to happen. Nope. I did not select this channel is for children. I'm sorry for the cursing. Boom. Man, this is going to get sick. Oh. What's going on here? Oh, my collisions are broken now. Okay, I see what's going on. Now we're trying to do collisions and it's not working because those elements don't exist anymore. And I have not removed them from the collision list. So in order to make that happen, I don't think I have a try. That would be the simplest thing, would be just around the collisions, I do a try. But the best would be to actually, verify or just to remove the elements from there and fix the pop statement. Make the variable modification work correctly. Because otherwise I'm doing collisions that don't even exist. So, yep, now when it tries to do these, it's going to error out unlike these other ones. I can't just wipe the pre-collision lists either because that's a registered list of all the collisions that are happening. So let's see. What can be done right now? So oh, actually, okay, so yeah, I could just, when it goes to delete them, yeah, I could just, well, do I want to scan across the collision lists and see if they exist? And if they do, just run the remove on top of it. One possibility, extremely inefficient. Another thing to do, let's see. Well, for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the element deleting. So, or yeah, I won't put them into the trash list right now. Yeah, we'll just turn off element deleting for right now. So that way my projectiles still work, so I can enjoy that for a little bit. Yes, I love it. This is awesome. All right. Save this. Computer's trying to tell me to go to sleep by shutting off the headphones again. All right. Now I think my projectile person is working really good. I can summon multiple of them. Let's just push it to the limit right now. Okay, so let's might have to actually I don't want to I was gonna play that song, the push it to the limit song, but I'll probably get flagged, and then all the people who are watching my show or my my channel won't be able to keep watching it. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna push the number of mages up, and then we're gonna push the rock spawning up a lot as well. So let's get some rocks in here. Let's get a lot of them first. Element spawner. All right. One day. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna spawn. Here's the spawn rate. It's gonna make rocks. They're gonna be on collision list. What is it? A? Yes. Okay, so it's gonna make a ton of rocks. Let's see how fast. This looks great. All right. Now I can just hit this rock. Something with these rocks that get spawned this way. All right. Sometimes they just don't get onto the collision list. I need to figure that out. Anyway, let's get our mages up. Gonna do mirror image. Oh my gosh. Mages are getting insane right now. It's getting a little bit glitchy. Probably looks pretty glitchy on the stream there. Okay, is this all of them? All right. Boom. My mages, my mage towers. It's like the ultimate tower defense. Nothing can make it through. Aside from the immortal rocks. Those can make it. Because there's nothing you can do about that. Boom. Alright. That's pretty beautiful. Let's just see what happens here again. It's not even reloading. Just please try and reload. You can do it. Too many mages on the screen. Okay. I saved it not too long ago. So hopefully I gotta close this shite. What is going on over here? Alright, let's check here. Doop, doop. See what happens. Let's see, what was the setting? Okay, it was still at 1. Had I already put the rock spawner in? Okay, this is before the rock spawner. Okay, good. Alright. That's how we'll save it because, you know, it will destroy your computer otherwise. Alright. Let's just finish off a couple. That was cash right there. Boom! I can also use my mage tank to just slam into that. Wipe them out. Press the save button here just to make sure. Let's just see here. Well, looks like I'm doing the most. I'm using the website the most. Let's put it on the profile page. I think this is a new profile program. It's nice. Oh, there we go. I was like, what is going on with the collision? Okay, it mostly works. All right. And with that, I'm done.